welcome. How you guys doing today? How is everyone? So hopefully everyone's doing good. Hopefully everyone's having a good week. You would not believe the morning I had. Oh my God. So it was tied. I think it was like 5-5 this morning when I woke up. It was between blackjack and craps. And I put out a post this morning. I'm like, dude, it's tied. You guys need to go vote. So I had like 11 or 12 or 15, something like that, responses. And you guys were voting. So all morning it was like blackjack was the winner, craps was the winner, blackjack was the winner, craps was the winner. And I'm sitting there like, I keep refreshing the page. I'm like, oh my God, what game are we gonna do today? It was pretty interesting. Hey Jose, good to see you. How are you doing? Glad you're here. Hey Dane, how are you? Nice to see you. Hey Wolfgar, how are you guys? Did you guys do any voting today? That was pretty fun. Don't know if you caught that. Hey Slotshot, how you doing? But you didn't win. You voted for blackjack. It was crazy, man. Seriously, it was like blackjack, craps, and then I was like 30 minutes before we go live, I'm like sitting there refreshing it, like, what's it gonna be? I don't know what it's gonna be. So yeah, that was pretty interesting today. Cool, no practice. Awesome, that means you're here. Yay, cool. So I guess we should get started. I gotta do a pose for Nicole, so let's see here. Okay. I always do something weird. Wolfgar said it wouldn't let me vote since I voted for before. Yep, you can't vote twice. I do refresh the page every week, so you can vote every week. But yeah, once you vote on a poll, you can't vote twice. Cool. Is the music level okay? Is it too loud? I was sort of rushing trying to get everything together before we went live. So hopefully everything is okay. Are you guys having a good week? Are you guys having fun this week? Let me know. Okay, so while we're waiting for you guys to tell me how the week is, awesome. Glad the music's okay. Cool. Here we go. Let's do the spiel. So, welcome back to Vegas Aces Open Classroom live stream. I'm Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces, and today I will be teaching you craps. So, like I was saying before, craps barely won. It was neck and neck. It won by 1 vote, and I'm like sitting there refreshing it like 30 minutes before we go live. So yeah, that was really fun. That was cool. And blackjack came in 2nd place. So let's see what you guys are saying. Cool, I'm glad you guys are having a good week. Hey, 3 weeks and I'll be in Vegas. Can't wait to get back. Right on, Slotshot. That's going to be cool having you back in Vegas. So before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe and make sure you always hit that notification bell so you'll always be notified of my latest videos and live streams. My next live stream is Let's Play Craps on Monday, April 8th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So again, Vegas Aces, it's my business. I had to make a business, so we are doing business stuff. And one of the business things that we are doing are websites. So if you need a website made, send me an email, heather@vegas-aces.com, and we could make a website for you. We could do a 1-page site, or we could do a multiple-page site, whatever you would like to do. Also, Vegas Aces is now placing dealers at the Sunset Station. We're doing interviews and video auditions all week. If you want a deal at Sunset Station, then email me at heather@vegas-aces.com. Any experience level is welcome. You must be able to deal blackjack, pitch a handheld game, and deal 1 of 2 games, either roulette or Pai Gow poker. If there is anything you don't know, let me know and we will teach you. We will walk you through the process and we'll do everything we can to get you hired. Super Chat and Patreon, always remember to tip your dealer, and now you can with Super Chat. Super Chat is a way YouTube allows you to show your appreciation by tipping me any amount you want. Give it a try. Or you can show your support by becoming a member of my Patreon page. We have several different levels and rewards for you to choose from. Any membership level counts, even $1, so please become a Patreon member today. Update with the courses, we are getting ready to start shooting the new videos for courses. We have 5 videos in the works. Gaming 101 is the first one, and basically the goal is to walk you through the process of what you need to do to become a dealer and how to get a job as a casino dealer, all for free. So that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. I've been working on the book, working on, what chapter am I? Oh, I think I'm on chapter 6 right now. And I am talking about appearance and nails and all that fun stuff, and shoes. That's the next one. We're going to be talking about shoes and what shoes to wear, and you know, you're standing for 8 hours. It's good to have comfortable shoes. So that's what's new with the business, the courses, the book, all of that. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Hey Jose, good to see you. Hi. Dane tweeted a picture of where I am now. That's awesome. I will be sure to go on Twitter after the live stream and check it out, Dane. Your Twitter posts are always very amusing, so I always look forward to those. Cool. So everybody's good. You guys are doing good. Oh, you gotta go? Okay. Bye, Dane. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Let's get started on craps. So just 1 second. Okay, so craps. What I am going to try to do on this one is I'm going to pretend that I am doing a UNLV class, and I'm going to explain it how I normally do when I'm at UNLV. I'm going to go through the section, and then after I go through the section, I'll check out your comments, and I will see what you guys are saying, what questions you're asking, and we'll go and I'll answer those questions from there. If I miss your question, just go ahead and rewrite it and put it back in there. Sometimes it goes past what I can see, so if I miss it, just rewrite it and I should see it the second time. Okay, so let's get started. Craps is actually a pretty easy game. So I know it looks complicated, but if we break it down into its core elements, it's actually pretty simple. So every game has a main bet and a side bet. That's the same with craps. So the main bet on craps is the pass line bet. And with the pass line bet, you are betting that a certain number will roll twice before a 7 hits. There are 2 variations of the pass line. So we have pass line, which is the main bet. The second variation is just like pass line, but it's just a little different, and that's the come bet. And then the other variation to the main bet, the pass line bet, is the place bet. And we will talk about that a little bit later, but I just wanted to point that out. And then all of the other bets are side bets. So the field is a side bet, the big 6 and 8 is a side bet, all of the proposition bets are side bets. And we will go over those afterwards. So let's see here. Let's talk about the pass line and the odds. So when we start the game, we are going to have the puck in the off position. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see here. There you go. The puck is going to be in the off position like so. And we are going to roll the dice and see what the pass line is. So the player will make their bet on the pass line. Let's say it's a $10 minimum table. You're going to put $10 on the pass line. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Okay. You're going to put $10 on the pass line, and then you're going to roll the dice. So we don't really have a good area right here for rolling the dice. And actually, I just want to mention this real quick. This layout is actually a pretty crappy layout. I bought this layout, 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, and there are some things wrong on here, so I will point that out a little bit later. But we can either roll the dice or we could do the random number generator on my phone because, like I said, I do not have a good area for rolling the dice. So we rolled the dice and we got a 9. So that's what we are doing. We have the bet on the pass line. We're going to roll the dice. By the way, if you are the shooter and you are rolling the dice, you must have a pass line bet in order for you to roll. When we start out on a roll, the stick dealer or the stick man will give you 5 dice. And out of those 5 dice, you are going to choose 2 out of the 5. So the player will choose 2 dice and then they will roll. Let's say they roll a 9, like per se. What's going to happen is the point is now established and the puck is going to turn into the on position. Now, before we go there, I just want to point out that on the pass line, if you have a 7 or an 11, then the pass line is automatically going to win. If you have a 2, 3, or 12, then this is craps and your pass line is automatically going to lose. Any other number establishes the point, so that's where we get the 9. We establish the point, the puck is turned into the on position, and now we have to hit this number again before we hit 7. If we hit a 7 before we hit this number, then the pass line and the odds lose. If you hit a 9 before a 7 is rolled, then the pass line and the odds win. So after that, we had the pass line. So now we have the don't pass line. I swear I could say that. Okay, so the don't pass line, real quick, is exactly the same as the pass line, except the opposite. It's really fun. We have a couple of these in craps. So the don't pass, like I said, exactly the same as the pass line, except the opposite. So what that means is on the pass line, you have a bet on the pass line per se. We'll put a bet on the don't pass, like so. And on the pass line, you're betting that a number is going to hit twice before 7. So first number comes out. We have the first number. The first number is 9. This is where the opposite happens. So if a 9 hits, then the pass line wins, and same with the odds. If the 9 hits and you have a don't pass, then the don't pass loses. Okay, now if we have a point for 9 and a 7 roll, then if we have a 9 and a 7 rolls, the pass line loses. But the opposite occurs on the don't pass line. If a 7 rolls, the don't pass line wins. Okay, so we talked about that. Now let's talk about the house edge real quick. The house edge for the pass line is 1.41%, and the house edge for the don't pass is 1.36%. And the reason why is because of bar 12. We're taking bar 12 into account. What bar 12 is on the don't pass, if a 12 rolls, then instead of winning, then it's a push. So on the pass line, if a 12 rolls, then it's a loss and the bet is lost. There's, just loss. If the opposite happened on the don't pass, you would think the 12 would win, right? Well, it doesn't. With a 12, it's a bar 12, which means it's a push. So keeping in mind that don't pass line has a bar 12, the house edge for the don't pass is 1.36%. Let's see what you guys are saying real quick in the chat. I'm glad the music sounds okay. Awesome. Cool. Glad you guys won, Jose. Very, very cool. Awesome. Glad you're having a good week. Yes, exactly, Wolfgar. So Wolfgar brings up a good point. If you're shooting, you have to bet on the pass line in order to shoot. Wolfgar brought up the point where if you're shooting, You could bet the don't pass, and the don't pass, like I said, is exactly the same thing as the pass line. So you could shoot and bet the don't pass. You don't have to do the pass line. You could do the don't pass line, and it's exactly the same, and you could shoot those dice. Very good, Wolfgar. I'm glad you brought that up. Very cool. Hey, Skittle Car, good to see you. Thank you for showing up. Ha, nice, awesome. Okay, so you guys are good. We got that covered. Now let's talk about what happens after the point is established. So the point is established, you have a pass line bet. What do you do now? Well, of course, we're waiting for the dice to roll a 9 so that way you win. While we're doing that, we're going to set up odds, and I want to talk to you about odds real quick. Now, odds is a bet that you could place behind your pass line, and the odds are actually the best bet in the house. And the reason why is because they're true odds. True odds meaning that they have a house edge of 0%. You get paid true odds. It's a really, really great bet if you ever get a chance. I would definitely highly recommend that you play it. So we have the pass line bet and we have the odds. How much do we put out for the odds? Well, it depends on the casino. There are some casinos where they only have double odds and you can only do double what your pass line is. So therefore we have $10 pass line, double odds would be $20. And then we have casinos that have 3, 4, 5 times odds. And what that means is depending on the point, you can have 3, 4, or 5 times odds. And then of course there are some casinos where you could do 10 times odds or even 100 times odds. So really it depends on what casino you're playing at and what table you're playing at. We're just going to do something easy. We'll pretend that we are dealing at a casino that has 100 times odds. So if we're doing 100 times odds, that means you could do any amount up to 100 times. So that just makes it easy for us when explaining to you what odds are. So we have odds, and the odds are, like I said, true odds. Now the payout depends on what number is the point. So if the 10 or the 4 is the point, the 10 or the 4, then the odds get paid 2 to 1. If the point is a 9 or a 5, then the odds get paid 3 to 2. And if the point is a 6 or an 8, then the odds get paid 6 to 5. So if we have a point of 9 and the 9 hits, then we're going to pay just like a blackjack, 3 to 2. So we have $20 odds. 1.5 times 20 is 30. So the odds get paid 30. And then the pass line bet gets paid even money, like so. Now, one thing that I want to point out is with the don't pass. Remember how I said the don't pass is exactly the same thing as the pass, but the opposite? Well, if you have a don't pass and you want to put odds on your don't pass, you're going to have to put more out than what you get paid back. So if the point is a 9 or a 5, you know that it's 3 to 2 odds. Let's pretend that we have $30 on the odds. So a $10 don't pass flat bet and then 30 on the odds. And a 7 hits. So with a 7, we get paid on the don't pass. Now we have $30 odds and it pays 3 to 2. So for that $30, you're going to get paid $20. Another way that we could do this is to split it in half and do 15. So you could see right here that we have 3 chips. Those 3 chips get paid 2 chips, 3 to 2. So you have to put more out on your odds and you get paid less. Why is that? The reason why is because the don't pass line is better for the player as far as the house edge and odds go. So that's why the player has to put out more to get back less, because they're more likely to win. So that is the odds for both the pass line and the don't pass. Let me see if you guys have any questions on that. Hey, Cold Potato, good to see you. How you doing? Oh, you're not feeling good? I hope you're feeling better, Cold Potato. I totally understand. I just got over the flu. Believe me, I am sending you positivity and love and all that, and I really hope you feel better. Definitely. Slot shot. What about taking your odds? Okay, cool. So I jumped the gun. Okay, awesome. Right on. Malik. Oh, craps. Never played or dealt it before. I think it's harder than Pygat Tiles. Yes, actually, craps is the hardest game in the casino. If you are a dealer and you're learning craps, it'll take you 2 years of dealing the game, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, just to be decent. 2 years, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, just to be decent. That's how hard craps is. It takes many, many years, like, to be a good, an actual good dealer on craps. When do you bridge your odds on the don't side? Yep, you could bridge your odds on the don't. It just makes it a little easier when paying out, but that's, you don't have to. Is there a set way to lay the odds for the don't pass? Oh, man. Oh, that sucks. Damn. Okay. Well, Malik, I do apologize for you losing so much. That sucks. The toilet comment is what made me laugh. I just want to, like, clear that up. I was not laughing at the fact that you lost money. I just have to point that out. But I do feel bad for you that you did lose that money. That really sucked. Bill Woo, you're right. Normally on craps, there are 3 dealers and a boxman. So you will have a stick person, 2 base people, and a box person, all dealing craps. Now, there are some casinos you could go to where if you go to the party pit, they have a 1 dealer craps table. And it is literally about like this big per se, and you have 1 dealer. And that dealer deals out the game. But like I said, I've only seen that at party pits, so. Right? Exactly. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are doing good. I'm glad there's no more questions. I think we got all the questions. Is there a way to set or lay the odds for the don't pass? So, like I was saying, some people... So let's say, for example, that that example that I gave you before where you have $10 on the don't pass. What he's talking about is there's 2 ways to set up your odds. You could either heal it, which healing means that you have 1 chip on the bottom and then you heal the rest of it. You could either heal it or bridge it, which is what he was talking about, bridging. And bridging would be, well, I don't have... Bridging is basically this. Let's say, for example, if I wasn't doing $30, but I was doing $35, that's an example of bridging. You have an equal amount on both sides, and then you have 1 chip on top, and that's bridging. So you could do it that way. You could heal. Totally up to you. So I hope I answered your question, Wolfgar. Let me know. Okay, so we did that, Okay, so what we talk about next is, let's talk about the point being established. We covered this briefly, but let's go into it more in detail. So, like I said, when the puck is on the on position and it's placed on a number, this indicates that the point is established. The point is what you want to hit before a 7 is rolled. So, if the point is an 8, we want an 8 to be hit before a 7 is rolled. If the point is a 6, and all these numbers are coming out, and then a 7 comes out, and a 6 never comes out, then it's lost and everyone loses. So we want the point to hit twice. Once when the puck is off, and then we turn it to on, so the 6 is rolled. We turn the puck on. Now we have to hit 6 for the second time. 6 is rolled. Everyone is paid. So that is the point being established. When the point is established, the pass line, like I said, the flat bet will be paid even money per se, and then the odds will be paid depending on what the point is. So once the point is hit, then the puck is moved to the off position and we start again. If a 7 is hit, then the dice are moved clockwise to the new shooter. Now with a come bet, the come bets can only be placed after the point is established. So let's just say we have that person betting their pass line bet and their odds, and then they want a $10 come bet, like per se. So we have a $10 come bet, and the come bet, when it's in this position, if a 7 or 11 are rolled, it's going to win. And if a 2, 3, or 12 are rolled, then it's going to lose. Any other number, it's going to go to that number. So we have the point as a 5. We're waiting for a 5 to hit. While we're waiting for a 5 to hit, we're going to play another main bet, the come bet. We have a $10 come bet. The dice are rolled, and the dice hit, let's say, 8. So after the 8 is hit, the come bet goes to 8. And now you can take odds on your come bet. So remember, I said that the come bet and the place bet are just variations of the pass line bet. That's why you have a flat bet, and you could put odds on your come bet. The odds on the come bet pay the same as the odds on the pass line. So a 6 and an 8, it pays 6 to 5. A 5 and 9 pay 3 to 2. And a 4 and 10 pay 2 to 1. Now, when you're dealing this game, usually you could tell what bet is for what player, depending on the position of the chips. So we are going to pretend, for example, anything in this area, you see how it is marked like so, we're going to use it the same right here. So if we have a person that is playing next to the stick person and they're betting, we're going to place them right here, because this is the middle of the table. This is where the stick person's at, and the person next to the stick person is going to go right here. Now, like I said, my layout is really crappy, and I bought this layout a long time ago, and it was just for practicing, and I didn't realize how crappy it was until afterwards. But on a normal craps table, you would have enough spots on these boxes to put 3 chips. Like so. So the box would be like this. And then the corner, the hook, would be in this area right here. And that's what the hook would be. And then you have 3 positions right here. And that goes for these 3 people right here. And then that's how you tell what player's playing what bet. But again, like I said, my craps layout sucks. So you can't really get a good, what do you call it? You can't get a good, spread on this layout. Let's see where we're at. So we talked about the come bet. Now let's talk about the don't come bet. So the don't come bet is exactly the same as the come bet, except it's exactly the opposite. It's the same thing as the don't pass line or the don't pass. So pretty fun. What we're going to do is we'll put $10 on the come, just like we did over here. Now, an 8 hits, just like what happened before. But instead of your $10 don't come bet going into the box like the come bet did, what's going to happen is it's going to go behind. It's going to go in this area right here. And this area indicates the don't come bets. So it's going to go in this area right here. And then you're going to take the odds. Now the don't come bet is exactly the same as the don't pass line bet, where if you wanted to do, let's say 9, it's 3 to 2 odds. You have to bet 3 chips in order to get paid 2 chips. And these bets get paid when a 7 rolls. If a 5 rolls, then these bets lose. So that's the don't come bet. And again, bar 12. So if the 12 hits, it's a push. Okay, let's see. We talked about the pass line. We talked about the come bet. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chats. No one on Twitch. Oh, I got one person watching on Twitch. They're just not talking to me. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Let's see here. Oh, good. I'm glad that explains it. Cool. I'm wondering if there's a sleepy guy falling asleep on the table. There's always a sleepy guy falling asleep on the table. The DC, my favorite, even if I get dirty looks. Now, this is awesome. Okay, thank you so much, Skittlecar, for pointing this out. So, what Skittlecar is talking about is craps is a very social game. Everyone feels like they're in on it together, and nobody wants that 7 to roll. So when you get a person that comes to the table and they start playing the don't pass and the don't come, and why would they play the don't pass and the don't come? Because you have a better house edge for the player than you do for the casino. But you come to the table, you play the don't pass or the don't come, and you get some really nasty looks from the other players. And the other players feel like you're betting against them. And it's this really strange social psychology that happens on the craps table. So you will actually get social peer pressure to play the pass line bet, which again has a house edge of 1.41%, compared to playing the don't pass, which has a house edge of 1.36%. So of course, the don't pass is better with 1.36%, but the players are sort of like doing this peer pressure thing where they want you to play the pass line bet of 1.41. It's a little weird. So that's what Skittlecar is talking about. Wolfgar. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let us move on. So we talked about the pass line bet, which is the bet that you have to play if you want to roll the dice. We talked about the come bet because, you know, waiting for one number to roll is sort of boring. So if we play the come bet, we could do different numbers and we could do our odds that way. But what if we're really, really impatient, no patience at all, and we don't want to wait for that number to roll twice? We want that number to pay us as soon as it's hit. Well, then we have the place bet. And the place bet is exactly the same thing as the come bet, exactly the same thing as the pass line bet. You have your flat bet with your odds, and with the place bet, the player could just say, hey, dealer, give me a $30 8 place bet. And they'll put it up, and then you get paid as soon as that hit is rolled. You don't have to wait for it to hit twice. Now, the only thing is when you're doing the place bets, you get paid different odds. Because the number is only hit once, you get worse odds for that reason. So, what are the odds for the place bet? Well, if a 4 or a 10 hit, then the odds are 9 to 5. It pays 9 to 5, which gives you a house edge of 6.67%. Usually you play in increments of $5 when you're doing a 4 or 10 place bet. Next is the 5 or a 9, and that pays 7 to 5, which gives you a house edge of 4%. Again, you'll play in increments of $5 on these spots. Last, you have a 6 and an 8, and a 6 and an 8 pay 7 to 6, which give you a house edge of 1.52%. Normally, when you play in these spots, you play in increments of $6. So we covered the 3 main bets that you have on craps: the pass line, the come bet, and the place bet. Again, they're all pretty much the same. You have your flat line bet and then your odds, and you're just waiting for that number to hit before a 7. Super, super easy, right? Okay, so let's start talking about the side bets, because it's sort of boring waiting for these numbers to hit. We want some like action right now. So we have side bets that we could play. The first side bet that I want to point out is the field. And as you can see, if a 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12 hit, then you get paid. Now, depending on the table, some casinos pay 2 to 1 for a 12, while other casinos pay 3 to 1 for the 12. Now, this changes the house edge just a bit. If you have a casino that is going to pay you 3 to 1 on the field 12, then this gives you a house edge of 2.78%. Again, a house edge of 2.78%. If we have a casino that only pays 2 to 1 on the field, then this raises the house edge from 2.78% all the way up to 5.56%. So you can see it's a pretty big difference. That's why you always want to play on a table that pays 3 to 1 versus 2 to 1 if you like playing the field. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chats. Hey Sean, how are you? Good to see you. Awesome. Yeah, so Skittles Car said that the 6 and 8 place bets should be divisible by 6. Exactly, you should bet them in increments of 6. Fire bet, I have not talked about the fire bet yet. The fire bet is more in the proposition bets, which we will get to next. But I do need a sip of water. My throat is getting dry. Okay, so Wolfgar has a question. Would you go over lay bets, and are commissions prepaid? So lay bets are normally on a 4 and 10, and the reason why is because you have a commission or a VIG that you normally pay. If it is $20 or less, it's usually $1. If you go on some casinos and pay $25 on a 4 or 10, sometimes they'll knock it down to $1 for you. That's pretty cool. But it just depends on the amount that you play. And normally, the casinos either have you pay it before or after, depending on the casino. The lay bets, again, happen on the 4 and the 10, and it's usually with the come or the don't come. So I hope I answered your question, Wolfgar. Let me know if you want me to go over anything else. And if not, we'll probably start going over the proposition bets. Okay, so I'm waiting for Wolfgar. So while I'm waiting, let's go over the proposition bets. The proposition bets are in this area right here. You can normally tell the color when you're looking at this, the color of the text. So on this one in particular, the color of the text is wrong. Again, like I said, this layout's really crappy. I bought it a long time ago, and there are several things on here that are wrong. But normally red is a 1-roll bet and yellow is a multi-roll bet. So on a normal casino game, you will see the hard ways as a red color for, I'm sorry, a yellow color for a multi-roll bet, and then these numbers will be red for a 1-roll bet. Same thing with the come. The come is normally yellow for a multi-roll bet, and the field is normally red for a 1-roll bet. So like I said, this layout's messed up. I will buy a craps layout, an actual real craps layout one day. Until then, we are using this one. And, okay, so with the proposition bets, we have different proposition bets that you could do. You have the hard ways, you have the craps, 2, 3, 12, the 7 and 11, 7 right here, 11, and then you can also do the world bet, and the world bet is all of them. So each one has a different house edge, each one has a different payout. Depending on the casino that you go to, depends on the payouts. They all have different pay tables. But one thing that I want you to notice is it says 10 for 1. Now I want to go over this real quick. there's a difference between 10-4-1 and 10-2-1 or 9-2-1. 10-4-1 is exactly the same thing as 9-2-1. So what am I saying? When we're doing 10-4-1, let me get more chips. So here's 10 chips for that one chip. So the 10 chips, I give you 10 chips and I take the one chip that you were playing. That's what 10-4-1 means. 10-4-1 is exactly the same thing as 9-2-1. So we have the chip that we are playing. Oh, and I have no more dollars. That's awesome. Okay. We're going to take one of these. Actually, we'll just take this one. Okay. So 9-2-1. So we have 9 chips to that one chip. I don't have any more dollars, so we'll just pretend that this is $1. So this is $1, and you're getting 10 chips for that one chip. So that's why 10-4-1 is exactly the same thing as 9-2-1. Do you guys have any questions? 10-4-1, you're taking the chip, is the same thing as 9-2-1, and you're leaving the chip up on that one. Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying in the chats. It looks like Amazon stuff, yeah. Yeah, you could buy all of this equipment on Amazon. If you go to my Amazon store, I have all of this up. Dice, the puck, sticks, everything you need. So if you need anything, you can always go to my Amazon store and you can find it there. Skittle Car, my guilty pleasure. I'm a sucker for $1 hard 6 and 8. If it wins, I parlay my winnings, and you could win 1,000 from an original dollar bet. Malik, I had a blackjack layout from Amazon. Oh no, and it was starting to peel on. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I'm sorry, Malik. That sucks. Ah. Do table minimums apply to prop bets? No, they don't. So when you're doing minimums, let's say it's a $10 minimum table, you have to have a $10 pass line in there. So once you have a $10 pass line in there, you've hit that minimum. So if you want to do $1 on the hard 6, you could do that. You already hit your minimum, so you're good. You don't have to do $10 on the hard 6. If you want to do just $1 is fine. The minimum bet that you could play on the proposition bets are $1. So as long as you have that $10 minimum bet up, you could put $1 on the proposition bet. Cool. Okay, so that's pretty much it for my spiel. Do you guys have any more questions for the day? Whoa, Monday's going to be fun. We're going to have fun doing the Let's Play Craps on here. I swear, I totally need a new layout. This layout is just not big enough at all. Let me know if you guys have any more questions, either about craps or on any game, if you have a question on any game, or just a question in general. And after I answer your questions, then I think we are going to call it good for the day. We pretty much went over how to play the entire craps game. For the most part, it was pretty quick, but I think you guys got the gist of it. If you do have any questions, or if you are confused about anything, now is the time to ask. Ask them in the comments. Ha! Skittlecar! Skittlecar is trolling us. Skittlecar asks, is dice control real? So why is he trolling us? Because this is a very controversial question in the community. This is something people have been arguing about for years and years. You have one side of the conversation that says that dice control is real and people can do it, you just have to practice. And then you have people on the other side of the conversation, for example, like Mike Shackelford, the Wizard of Oz, who says dice control is not real, you can't do it, you can't make it happen the way you want to do it every single time. Now, what is dice control? Dice control is when a person takes the dice, and when they shoot it, they're holding it in a way that one of the dice is scooting or sliding, and it doesn't move at all. And then the other one rolls randomly, and basically they, when they're betting in an 8 or higher. And you're trying to control the dice. You're trying to control like the outcome of the dice. The way you shoot the dice, you're trying to get a certain number to hit every single time. And people buy craps tables at home, and they sit at home and they practice this for hours and hours and hours, just to try to get their muscle memory, you know, good, and to practice and everything. And they're trying to make it where they can control the outcome of the dice. So I hope that answers your question, Skittlecar. Let me know if you have any more questions and I'll go into it. Normally when you're doing dice control or dice scooting or dice sliding or something like that, you are going to be standing next to the stick person, because that is the closest to the other side of the craps table as possible. That's why when you are a dealer and you're dealing craps, you have to make sure that when a person rolls the dice, both dice hit the pyramids. It's very important. Those pyramids are making sure that the dice roll is completely random. So that's why they have to hit the pyramids. If they don't hit the pyramids, or if one hits the pyramid and one doesn't, you have to call a no roll, and you have to make them shoot the dice again. Madness when dice destroy chip stacks. Insane how dealers remember every single stack. Yes, so there are some people when they throw the dice and the whole table, it's like you have a full table, everyone's betting on every single thing you could possibly think of. There are just chips everywhere. And for some reason, when these people roll the dice, they aim for the stacks, and they try to hit the stacks, and they try to like fall over the stacks and everything. And then it's the dealer's responsibility to stack up all those stacks again and make sure they got the correct amount for each one. So yeah, there are people that do that, and dealers usually don't like those people when they do that. Cool. I'm glad I answered that for you, Skittlecar. Sean, what is the house advantage on a 15-to-1 bet? I've been playing with 14-to-1s and 13-to-1s and 11-to-1s. What is their house edge? Okay, let's figure this out together. Let's see, I got my notes right here. Never do this without my notes close by. So you want to know the house advantage for 15-to-1 bet. Okay, 15-to-1. So the house edge for a 15-to-1 bet is 11.11%. 11.11% for a 15-to-1 bet. If it is 14-to-1, the house edge goes up to 16.67%. 14-to-1 is 16.67%. And 13-to-1, let's see. I do not see any 13-to-1 bets, so I think you're good on the 13-to-1. I don't see any 11-to-1. I don't see 12-to-1. Don't see any of that. What I do see is 7-to-1, 4-to-1, 30-to-1. 30-to-1 is 13.89%. And then the other bets, 9-to-1 is 9.09%. So I hope that answers your question. Again, 15-to-1 is 11.11%, and 14-to-1 is 16.67%. So I hope I answered your question. What a ripoff? Oh yeah, totally. The house edge on the proposition bets are a complete ripoff. It's such a high house edge, it's insane. So when you are betting the proposition bet, just keep that in mind. This is the casino's bet. This is where they make their money, and that's because they have a high house edge on these bets. Oh, no worries, Sean. We got the question. I hope I answered it okay for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Now's the time to ask. Otherwise, we are going to start getting ready to go for the day. Let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. That is awesome of you. Okay, so it doesn't look like you guys have any more questions, so let's get this thing wrapped up. That does it for today's show. Thank you so much for joining me, and join me again next time on my next live stream, Let's Play live stream on Monday, April 8th at 7 p.m. Until then, this is Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces, reminding you that education can change the world. Take care, you guys. Have a good night, you guys. You guys have been awesome as always. Thank you. Malik, you got an A. Definitely. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.